Hey, everybody. Hey, all my CRPs, clinical research professionals. Happy Saturday. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I was able to hop in just a little bit earlier tonight and pick back up we're on day 19. So, for those of you who don't know, for the past 18 days, I've been covering an aspiring CRA problem every single day, a new problem, and we're going to continue that out through the rest of November. So, my goal is to give you guys the solution to 30 aspiring CRA problems throughout every day in November. So today we're on problem number 19. And don't worry if you're just now picking up on this series, you're just now tuning in, it's okay. Everything has been recorded. Every day has been recorded. So you can go back and listen to the replay on LinkedIn, on YouTube, and on Facebook. So let's hop into problem number 19. Problem number 19. And I was actually reminded of this problem. Someone reached out to me today, this past week. And I guess the first time she reached out might have been like Thursday or Friday. But I see this problem a lot. And I even have a couple of clients who went through this thought too. But the problem is that you think you'll have to travel at least 75% of the time. And not just travel, but also travel out of the state in order to be a CRA. You think that's one of the things that you have to be willing to do, or you have to actually do, or you have to at least be willing to do. And that thought is actually something that a lot of women specifically go through just because, especially if you're a woman that has a spouse and children, because all of society's standards, stereotypes, things, whatever you want to call it, has women typically placed at the home and taking care of the kids. So there's that mom guilt that kicks in, and then you have to have a partner that's on board. So all of these thoughts running through your head about, well, can I even be a CRA because of the travel requirements? Well, one, I want to ease your thoughts. If you are looking for that regional traveling role that has the higher percentage of travel, then yes, you can do it. I did it. Many of my friends did it. Colleagues have done it. I've even had friends and colleagues who got pregnant while they were on the road, went and had the baby, and then came back and still were able to do it. So it is possible. But if you're just, one of those people that's like, absolutely not, I do not want to travel, and that's fine too. I have clients that are in that position as well, past and current, and we have a solution for that. All you have to do is focus on the in-house CRA jobs. There are in-house CRA jobs that you can apply to, so you can have the typical CRA responsibilities, but excluding the travel. So what does that look like? What is an in-house CRA role, Jasmyn? So typically, these types of roles are remote. They're work from home, so you don't have to go inside of an office. Now, there are companies out there that still require their in-house CRAs to come in the office. Some of them have hybrid roles, but you can find plenty of roles out there that do not have this requirement, and you can work from home. And then typically, you have the same responsibilities as a regional traveling CRA, excluding the travel, of course. So you'll still be assigned sites, you'll still be assigned protocols, you'll still be conducting remote monitoring visits. And yes, monitoring visits can be conducted remotely. In fact, when COVID happened, there were a lot of sites, studies, protocols, sponsors that had to implement policies and plans in order to better facilitate these remote visits. Now, for oncology, it was a little bit easier transition, and probably some of the other complicated therapeutic areas too, like neurology, for example, just because a lot of the sites are already using electronic medical records, which is EMR, and they're also using electronic investigator site file systems. So essentially, when you go on site to monitor, you're just looking at, the computer, your computer they're sitting you at, and you're doing the same thing that you would be doing at home. So they were already equipped for remote visits. So it was easier for them. But then some of those sites allow remote monitoring visits even prior to COVID. So with the way things are going post-COVID, a lot of sites are transitioning over to remote monitoring visits almost 100%, they're trying to put in place policies excluding, like FDA audits or things that absolutely require you to be on site. But they're trying to put policies in place where the routine monitoring visits are typically conducted remotely. So with that being said, you can have the same responsibilities essentially as a regional traveling CRA by being an in-house remote CRA. And you would just have to look at the job descriptions and see what type of responsibilities that particular role with that particular company include. And then typically the in-house CRO has less strict requirements in terms of the requirements to get the job, to be hired. So sometimes you might see where they don't require that bachelor's level degree. You might see where they require less clinical research experience, or you might see where they're just more lenient in terms of the experience that they're expecting for you to come in with. And then also, you have the same career growth opportunities. A lot of people think, well, yeah, I can do that, but then I won't be able to advance to a CTM or project manager or line manager, what have you, whatever your next career goal or career move is. And that's not accurate. So the in-house CRA role can put you on that same path to project your career to wherever you want to go in the clinical research space, just as a regional traveling CRA position would. In fact, if you check out my podcast, Confessions of a CRA, there's a interview that I did with Mary Williams, and she is a prime example of someone who went from in-house CRA and has just shot all the way up to management director level role. So the sky's the limit, y'all. It really and truly is with the CRA role. Yes, typically we think of the traveling, the road warrior, that typical, responsibilities, that typical view of the CRA role, the CRA job. But there's so many other roles out there, like the in-house CRA role, and there's so many other specialties within the CRA space. For example, there are CRA roles where you may have to travel, so to speak, but it's all within driving distance of your home location. So although you might have to leave your home and do on-site visits, you still will come back home each night and you won't have to stay overnight in a hotel because it could be that localized and that close. So there's just so many different avenues and paths that you can take within the CRA space and still get that amazing CRA career that you desire and advance beyond that, if that's your goal. So I just wanted to make that clear for everybody who's experiencing that problem right now, thinking that their career, their options are limited because traveling is just not in the cards for them right now. So for those of you who are interested in getting more personal assistance, more personal help with their CRA career goals and landing their first CRA job, I offer a 6-month coaching program where I help clinical research professional women confidently land their first CRA job offer, struggle and frustration free, y'all, with no monitoring experience or CRA certification, all through teaching you mindset strategies and how to brand market and sell yourself. So the program includes an initial onboarding call to immediately, and when I say immediately, that's the very first thing we're going to do is assess and revamp your resume, cover letter, and your LinkedIn profile. So give you a full revamp, full makeover on those items so you can hit the ground running. And then 6 months of high-level one-on-one private coaching sessions directly with me. And then you'll also get immediate on-demand access to my curriculum filled with all the frameworks, the templates, the checklists, everything that you need to land your first CRA job offer. You also get direct messaging support directly with me so that we can communicate outside of the weekly coaching calls. You'll get a bonus mock interview with a recruiter. You also get bonus courses on negotiating a high-paying offer. So I don't just leave you hanging once you get the offer. You have training and support on how to get the best offer, and then also courses on fast-tracking your career once you land your first CRA job offer. And then you also get a bonus CRA career plan, and there's so much more, y'all. So if you're ready to confidently land your first CRA job offer, struggle and frustration free with no monitoring experience or CRA certification, leaving out the guesswork, doing it all on your own, then book a sales call with me to learn all about my one-on-one private coaching program and how I can help you. Just visit aspiringcra.com. So that wraps up everything that we're going to cover tonight. Tomorrow, I'm not going to say it again. I feel like the last couple of weekends, I'm like, I'm going to try to come on earlier in the morning, and I never do. So I'm not going to say it, but let's just fingers crossed, hope I can I can get on a little bit earlier. Nevertheless, if you follow me on LinkedIn or subscribe on YouTube and click the notification bell, then you'll get notified when I'm going live. So you don't have to keep checking and wondering. And you can join me live and ask questions live, comment in the chat live, and I can address those questions live. But for all of you all, who keep joining in, listening, even if you're watching the replay, thank you so much. I appreciate every single one of you. And I can't wait to tune in tomorrow to give you problem number 20. And I hope you guys have a great weekend.